Hi, my name is Marilyn Kaminsky, and I am a certified and licensed athletic trainer that works extensively with athletes on sports injury care and rehab. I decided to create this video to educate the general population, athletes, coaches, and parents on what cupping therapy is and how does it actually affect the performance of an athlete. So to give you a demonstration, muscle is this elastic. It moves and stretches, it lengthens and shortens all day long. But fascia is plastic. It's not really plastic, but in this general description and understanding of it, it's like the plastic bag or the saran wrap. And this doesn't have that kind of elasticity. So if the muscle needs to lengthen and shorten all day long throughout all the function that it needs, and this fascia is restricted and adhered or glued to the muscle, now that muscle is not able to strengthen. It stops. It doesn't get the full lengthening and contractile and or elasticity properties that it was meant to have. So when we use cupping therapy as a method, it is simply a way to pull this elastic saran wrap, aka fascia, release the adhesion from the muscle and get that muscle back to gliding through the fascia. When we are not able to do that, or we try many other methods, we will eventually get to it. But say it takes me 6 to 12 sessions with an athlete to finally break through this fascia adhesion with all the different soft tissue and therapy methods we can use. And with cupping, I get it in the same session. I develop way more to that muscle, and I don't have a chance of causing that muscle to weaken over such a prolonged time. So cupping therapy, in a very layman's term to educate the general population, is like saran wrap over top of an elastic band. The elastic band is our muscle, the saran wrap or the plastic wrap is our fascia, and all day long we can pull at adhesions, but it might take us way longer than if I'm able to cup it and pull it away and get that muscle moving, and now use different kind of soft tissue methods to break up those adhesions even more and really get that muscle functioning. Adhesions can happen between the fascia and the muscle from anything from working the muscle out and really intense. And when you work out muscles really intense on a daily basis, you really have little teeny tiny microfiber tears to the muscle fibers. But all of our nutrients that we take in, all of the methods that we do for post-exercise, they mend those fibers very quickly and you don't have adhesions. But if there's a time that there was a larger strain or a strain that was not cared for properly or a little bit more of a aggressive tear, it might not even actually be classified as an injury, those will create adhesions. And then of course if there's a surgical case or a prolonged injury or a muscle strain of some sort, those all can cause adhesions. And the only method I've found to this day is to use cupping and release the adhesion and then work with the muscle fibers and get them gliding the way they are. So I hope with this video you're able to understand a little bit better about the importance and the effectiveness of cupping therapy for athletes. I think it's one of the best tools in my toolbox. Now mind you, I just said it's a tool in my toolbox. It is not an end-all, and not every muscle needs it, not every athlete needs it, and it's not going to be my one method to use at a moment. Very often our muscles don't need cupping therapy. They don't have any adhesions. But then on the same muscle, we might have one part of the muscle that moves freely and the other part that has an adhesion, and then we have to use a cupping method to be a little bit more aggressive and get that muscle to move freely faster and quicker than if I'm trying to sit there and chisel at it for session after session after session.